Joker movie is officially rated R. Could James Gunn present the future of the Justice League? And please, please, please save Swamp Thing! Today on DC Movie News.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's DC Movie News.
Do it right.
What are we talking about?
Oh yeah, we do this now. We do. Oh, it's not this.
What's
I thought
this?
it was
that?
this. It was this.
Form
I haven't been on in a
of-
while. I forgot.
Form of.
Water.
Form of.
I mean,
3 hosts.
Piss ant.
oh my God!
I missed your sweet dulcet tones there, Adam, on that opening there. I was like,
Oh,
wow.
thank you, guys. It's been a long time. How are you?
Since a rock and roll. Where you been, Adam?
I guess
Working.
just the Fridays haven't been working. A lot of traveling, a lot of working, a lot of different things.
Lot of
It's
sausage?
summer.
A lot of shuck and sausage?
Sausage. I've been working on a new exciting infomercial for Ninja again for a new product,
Oh.
and it is the summer season, the grilling season, and I do a lot of hot dog stuff. So this is sort of my peak season.
So this is your peak.
This is sort of my peak
Okay.
season.
I had to go to the, and this is the most entitled thing I've ever said. I had to go to the grocery store and buy sausages the other day because I'm out of the Adam sausage,
I
and
got
I had
you.
to
That's an
actually
entitled
purchase
thing?
them.
Oh, I see.
I had to actually
Because she has the
purchase
supply.
them myself. It has been 4 years since I've had to purchase my
I
own
can't-
sausage.
I can't buy packaged sausage because I've had his sausages.
Yeah, they're totally
It's
different.
like, I'm like, I don't want this this is, I don't know what's in this thing. I know it when you make it, I know what's in it.
Guys,
Yeah.
if you
I
want
trust
these
you.
delicious things that they're talking about, go to your local doghouse.
I
That's
went twice this week.
DOGHAUS. Go to doghouse.com to see where the locations are nearest
The one in
you.
Burbank? Thanks for inviting me.
But we're not talking Doghouse. We're here to talk DC, and I'm very happy about
DC,
that.
yeah.
I have been doing a little bit of AfterBuzz stuff for the first time.
Yeah,
I've been talking.
I'm loving that, Adam.
You know what? Because Ryan, our producer, asked me to do the Swamp Thing show, and so I did a little of that. And then because I was there,
You're
I guess they asked.
aficionado on Swamp Thing.
And I love it. And I gotta say,
Don't
like,
rub it in.
I
want to rub it in.
I talked about before. I always love like green monsters and monsters as heroes. Like there's something about like
Lobo. You love Lobo.
I do like Lobo, but like Frankenstein, Godzilla, the creature from the Black Lagoon, Swamp Thing, those kinds of creatures I love.
Interesting.
And I really love this particular version of Swamp Thing, which we'll talk about later in TV time. But I just watched the 4th episode, so I'm kind of like beaming off that.
I've only
Great.
seen the first 3, and they're all amazing.
So
seen the
good.
first one.
Legit amazing.
Joining me today to talk about DC is Mike, the Crusher, Killer, King of Christmas,
There
Kalinowski.
you go. Yeah. Hi, guys.
I made all that work.
thank you.
He's the killer of Christmas.
The Killer
I'm going
of
to be the
Christmas.
killer of Crusher. And
Killer
the
of
the
Crusher
Smasher.
Christmas.
Smasher,
And-
Crusher, Killer, all
We'll
those guys
see.
in there.
We'll
Of
see.
course.
Hi, guys. Hello.
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 You already
And
said
of
hi,
course,
man.
you recognize her from so many shows. How can you even count all the ways to find this person, you Striar heads out there? But
Striar
we
heads.
like
I like
to
that.
refer to her as the crown jewel
Yeah,
of
baby.
DC movie news. And that's Roxy Striar.
Yeah, happy to be here. I forgot to write this down, so I'll just say it right now. In 2 days, it will be the 30th anniversary of Batman '89. So happy almost 30th anniversary.
it's-
June
it was like-
23rd,
It was
is
like
it?
2 days ago, I thought.
No, it's the 23rd, June 23rd.
Is it 23rd? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think because people had posted the day it was released.
On June
like,
Are you
23rd.
putting your...
Last Friday.
Ryan will give us the answer,
Hold on,
I'm
I'm
sure.
gonna look at. Let me see.
But he's, Mike
looking it up.
Kalinowski does a lot of these schmo-downs, so it's like he hears a date.
I
He's
thought
like,
it
he
was
goes
the
right
16th.
into...
I thought it was June 16th.
No, definitely
Well,
not the 16th. I
This
remember
says
the
19th,
20-something.
but I thought it was the 23rd.
Maybe it was the
19th. That
19th.
19th. It was 2 days ago.
Well,
Yeah.
I did an entire show this morning on
Well,
Screen Junkies where they had us
no.
talk about how it's in 2 days.
Maybe
so.
Batman Returns.
No,
Batman
no,
Returns.
30th anniversary. So
30th.
happy.
Oh, 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
Oh my
No, it's
goodness.
19th was Batman.
Guys, join us in the chat. Roxy, is there a chat going on right
Yeah,
now?
I'm in it right now on Popcorn Talks YouTube. We are live every
Thank
single
you.
Friday at 1 p.m.
Thank
Pacific
you.
Standard Time. That is a 1-ish, anywhere between 1 and 1.
A soft 1.
A soft 1.
Oh, you know what, you guys?
Yeah.
What's up, Brian?
It's the 19th.
Yeah,
I thought
that's
so.
what I said.
Yep.
So 2 days ago.
Oh, yeah, that's what I just said.
Because
Okay.
I posted something about it.
So apologies to the entire hour stream we did about it being on the 23rd. Good job to my producer over there. But the 23rd is both our birthday, and Josh says the 23rd was when it was worldwide release. So maybe that's why.
Yeah, because I feel like I remember the poster
Still, we're in
saying
that
the
area
23rd.
right now. Happy 30th.
I remember...
Yeah, it's the whole time. It's the whole 30th.
Roxy, were you born at that time?
I was not even
You
in
were not
the
born.
womb.
I was old enough to have like gotten my tickets at my local comic book store at a special screening on the Saturday after, which I think they had just rented out a theater. There was nothing really official or special about it.
I remember I was working at Publix grocery store as a bag boy.
Okay.
And they hired us, I think we were like 14.
Is this
maybe.
Florida?
Florida.
Okay.
And I went after my shift to see it. And then I came back that night with my family. And my family loved it.
The coolest thing about that movie coming out is that this is the first movie that I can remember where the hype started a full year ahead of time.
Oh.
And it was the hype about a movie that I had a very particular interest in. I was already hugely into comics at that point, like 88.
Nerd.
Yeah, total nerd. And I couldn't believe it, but this was the first time, like Avengers Endgame here, right? Batman 89 there. And like this was the first time where like the heroes were on the world stage. I guess the Superman movies before that. But
I know what you're saying because, and a lot of people kind of argue this. That was the film that changed Blockbuster. It changed the way
It did.
what a
It felt like-
there was the marketing, the merchandise, the bat
merch
symbol was everywhere.
everywhere.
You tell people that they was like, no, that was Star Wars. It was like, no, Star Wars had no merchandise. That was a big thing because they couldn't get into stores. Batman, they did that trailer with the no music. It was just all the dialogue.
Yes.
A year later, Batman was everywhere. Yeah, that changed everything.
And now here we are 30 years later, and we're talking about going into production on yet a new iteration of Batman very soon.
Yeah.
Very true.
He is the new James Bond. That's why he is getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
He is.
What number Batman is he going to be?
Ooh.
Well,
Live action.
Are you counting?
Live action
So
Batman.
the serials. This is a great Kalinowski question.
he's the 7th.
So
Are
name
you
them all.
counting
I'm not
the
doing the
serials?
serials. I'm not
Okay,
doing the
not
serials.
counting the serials. So you're counting Adam West as the first one.
Keaton, Kilmer, Clooney, Bale, Affleck,
Wait,
Pattinson.
I don't want to get. I'm not saying anything.
Oh,
Have
are you-
anyone ever done a Keaton, Kilmer, Clooney thing? That's a crazy alliteration.
Keaton, Kilmer, Clooney.
Kalinowski. That's what I thought.
Wow.
Keaton, Kilmer, Clooney, Kalinowski.
Yep.
Yeah, but Keaton, 2 syllables. Kilmer, 2 syllables. Clooney, 2 syllables.
I thought you were going to try to like rationalize 3 syllables as Clooney.
Here we go.
Kalinowski. It's
Like
just
nine-
too many.
9 syllables.
So
Here
that's
Here we go.
awkward.
Here we go.
Just a little awkward.
You know, you can't talk about Batman without talking about the Joker. And
What voice was that one, though?
Jack Nicholson.
it was a little joke.
Oh.
Batman.
I got it.
I can only get into it if I say this.
It's
I'm of a mind makes a movie.
It's so good.
The Jew Joker movie is going to be rated R. What do you guys think about that?
I think that it had to have been. We've talked about it the whole time like
Yeah,
it
we
was, but
thought
I'm
it
glad
was.
that it's confirmed because
official.
why would you make this movie if it wasn't? What is the Joker movie without an R rating?
Suicide
That wouldn't
Squad?
make sense.
Suicide Squad didn't have an R rating. That
What
was a
is
movie
some kind
about
of-
bad guys.
Yeah, but it wasn't about the Joker and his origin.
He was in it.
He was in it.
He had a lot of tattoos.
That is true.
If he was getting
Tats.
if tattoos added up to
I feel
ratings.
like the Heath Ledger Joker was an R-rated Joker in a PG-13 film.
He was an R-rated Joker in a PG-13 world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I want to know more about his R rating.
Ooh, so what do you guys think about that? I mean, yeah, it does look like that kind of film, and also kind of goes into the fact that they're not. This isn't going to be like a tentpole film, right?
No.
I mean, this is going to do well
October
because it's the
release.
Joker, but it's they're going to try to make this like a sneaky success. Like don't try to sneak like spend $100 million on the marketing for it.
No,
like,
I don't think they need to. I mean,
It's interesting. So this Todd Phillips tweet that he just responded to somebody asking what the rating was. He says, "It will be rated R. I've been asked this a lot. Just assumed people knew. Sorry.
oh, did you, Todd?
Just
We
assumed y'all
assumed
knew."
dropping beat. I guess, but I mean, and I guess we don't know that the movie's actually officially been rated because until the final cut is turned in, it doesn't get an official rating.
And that's true. And sometimes directors are hoping for a certain rating and it gets bumped up, but very rarely are you going for an R rating and they give you
Yeah,
lower.
yeah. No,
a lot
he
of times
knows.
you're going for a PG-13, they bump you to R, you have to make cuts.
It's going to be violent and language. And we
And
also got a
yes.
new image going on with that, too, which we can see there, which Ryan is
Yeah.
going to put up for us.
So, interestingly enough, this week on Collider Live, I was talking to Jason Inman, who said that his friend read the script to the Joker.
Okay,
And-
okay. We got an exclusive. Ryan, you got a stinger for this. I know you do.
And he said that his friend read the script and that there is a ton...
Okay, that was close.
There's a ton of him looking in the mirror.
Okay, which
And
is
then
what
this
this is.
image dropped. But that literally happened a couple days ago that he says many, many times throughout the film. He's looking in the mirror.
Okay, give me 15 seconds to trudge into potential spoiler territory if you want to be potentially spoiler free. I want to ask the panel something here.
Yes. Give it to us.
Do you guys think the rumors about him being Bruce's brother are true?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
You don't like that?
Wait, I don't think that's...
Illegitimate son, like he's a bastard Wayne.
Oh.
Bastard Wayne. That's the rumors. Still spoilers, guys. Sorry. Potentially. That's the rumors. That's what I've heard. And that's why
But
he's
that's
got
why I
a
have a
bone to
hard time
pick with
calling
the
a
Waynes.
spoiler because how many times on this show have we said things that have not been the case? We've heard rumors and they have not been the case. So
Well,
I
we're
don't
also
know
going to talk
that.
about some potential WW84 spoilers that you really might not want to hear.
So it kind of makes Thomas Wayne look like a jerk.
Which is
Yes.
something that they've done in recent
And
years.
they've talked about that.
They've done that a lot. And
It's
that
not
is
my
like-
favorite
But
version
look
of
at what
Thomas
they did
Wayne.
with the Telltale game where the Waynes were responsible for creating a lot
That's
of...
what I mean. That was another one.
And it takes them... You know what? I'm gonna say this is gonna be great because when they mess with the current
Canon?
canon like BVS did, people don't like it. But if you take something that's outside of what's going on and you twist it, maybe they'll accept that a little bit more. We read like Elseworlds, so it's kind of in our zeitgeist that we're like, oh, it's just a different take.
This is coming from
I'm okay.
Ryan in the chat. He says, I think it's more likely, again, still spoilers, I guess, if we're in that. I think it's more likely that he's Thomas's brother. There's been a lot of talk about that as well.
Thomas's brother.
Yes.
So that makes him a little older. That makes him... Well, I guess he already is
He
older.
couldn't be
if he's a-
Thomas's son because
No, he could.
Thomas Wayne? Versus Joaquin Phoenix, he's got the one actor playing him is Thomas Wayne. It's
No, he could be. I don't know. Could he be Martha's?
no, because Thomas Wayne is being played by the guy that played.
I don't think the words Martha are going to be said in this film.
But even if he couldn't be Thomas's son, couldn't he be still Bruce's half brother?
No, because Joaquin Phoenix is like 45 years old.
But you get what I'm saying?
That's true.
Well, because she could.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
No.
What
Yeah,
do you guys think
in
about
this
that?
universe,
Does it
we don't
bother
know how
you?
old.
You're right, Rox. I'm trying to. Yeah.
It's possible.
I'm trying to wrap my mind around it too.
I can't.
I'm sure if you fudge the timeline, but even
this is-
still, if he's
Brett Cullen. He was in The Dark Knight Rises. He was the guy who's like Joker's he's retiring Jim.
Oh, yeah.
But he's Thomas Wayne.
Yes.
So look at him compared to. Well, he was born in 56.
So it looks,
60? 54?
so they
Yeah.
definitely could be brothers.
But he can't be his son.
Son.
They can't.
Well,
There's
he
no
could-
way he could be his son.
well, Joaquin could be playing a younger, like in his 30s.
How old do you have to
don't
be?
know about
Well,
that.
but you're talking about how old the actors are. We don't know how old
Yeah.
the
You're
characters
right,
are,
you're
and then
right.
also
You're
how
right.
old do you have to be as a man to spread your sperm?
Oh, I think 14. I
Yeah,
think.
so-
I mean, it's kind of different for everyone, but when it happens, you could actually, as a man, potentially father 5 children in a day. It's possible.
Garth McMurray in the chat says there are people with kids 30 years apart. That is true.
This is true. Either way, very, very. I'm still very excited for this film. In a way, a lot of ways, because it has no pressure of being tied to anything.
Right.
I'm just excited to go on a ride, and I see everything that Joaquin is in.
Are we done with spoilers?
Yes, we're done with spoilers. No more spoilers. We'll be back in spoilers for a little while. But let's keep talking about Batman because there was an article in the Hollywood Reporter talking about how, they were kind of comparing, they kind of put it out there. Who did you prefer, Robert Pattinson or Nicholas Hoult, who could potentially be the new Batman? And it was pretty even. Among younger people, Pattinson was the favorite. I think in a lot of the other categories, they did it by different age categories.
I see it right
So
there,
I can break down the
Break it
percentages
down for me.
you. So if we're looking at age 18 to 29, Nicholas Hoult had a 30% to Robert Pattinson's 42. Age 30 to 44, much more even actually with Nicholas Hoult having the edge at 36% to Robert
That's
Pattinson's
interesting like that.
35. Age 45 to 54, Nicholas Hoult had a big edge at 35% to Robert Pattinson's 28. Age 55 to 64, again, Nicholas Hoult with the edge, 29 to 22 for Pattinson. But then back at age 65 plus, Pattinson wins with 21% as opposed to Nicholas Holt's
So it's
18%.
basically the Twilight crowd that really was a Pattinson supporter.
Yeah, and then the
18 to
people
29s.
that are a little older,
I mean, in the
like
65 plus, they're like,
Yeah.
probably just looking at the two of them like, Yeah, that one.
It's very funny. Like our age bracket that is old enough to have been really pissed off because we were in our 20s when the Twilight movies came out and just hated on it so much. You could see that lingering resentment there.
Yeah.
And then the people in their 60s that are just so far removed from either one that they could be like, no, of course, the Pattinson boy.
Yeah.
And I just
The
heard
Pattinson boy.
the Pattinson boy.
Well, because honestly, my 91-year-old grandmother probably knows who Robert Pattinson is and probably does not know
Sure.
who Nicholas Hoult is.
That's a good point.
So
That's a very good point.
pick the name you're
Yeah,
familiar
if you
with.
just showed their two pictures, that older people be like, "That's the Twilight
That guy.
Yeah.
We also had a poll. Was it related? But the
Same
favorite
article.
This was really
The bestest
interesting.
bats.
Yeah, and a lot of people are upset about one part of this. I'll have you guys guess it after
Oh, I know
read.
exactly what it is because I went at it.
So this is America's favorite Batman actor. At 17%, we come in with Val Kilmer. Then at 18%, we've got Batfleck, Ben Affleck. At 19%, we've got George Clooney, who beat out Ben Affleck. At 38%, we've got Michael Keaton. And at 39%, we have Christian Bale. So Christian Bale only beat Keaton by 1%. Mm-hmm. What do you guys think about these?
I think anyone that put Clooney above Affleck is out of their damn mind.
I think Clooney would
I
agree
think
with
Clooney
you.
would go like, I should be at the bottom of that
Yeah.
list. And he probably should. And I love Clooney. I like him. There's things he does as Bruce Wayne I like. His Batman, no.
I don't know how much of that we can blame on
Does
him.
he have a Batman
Yeah.
credit card
He does.
and bat nipples?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say,
Yeah, he does.
I agree with you. You're crazy. I agree. I would put Affleck above. However,
Yeah.
if Clooney was in a straight movie,
Sure. That's what I'm saying. Clooney.
he could have been the best of all
That's what I'm saying.
time.
When he was doing some Bruce Wayne stuff, and he was young in his career, and he
There was a couple of moments where he was behaving really, and it was
Yes.
really good.
I'm on board.
But man, he was dodging the most comically absurd pieces.
Yeah.
And he talks about it. He's got a great attitude about that. But that guy could have been the GOAT Batman. He would have been the GOAT man.
Let me ask you guys this because they also did a favorite Catwoman actress,
that's a given.
and I want to ask you guys what is the order between Michelle Pfeiffer, Anne Hathaway, and Halle Berry? Who has the number one spot?
Pfeiffer.
I'm gonna say Pfeiffer, but then I'm gonna say that
That's his wife.
Barry is second,
And then Anne Hathaway last.
and because of the Clooney poll, because
This
there's
is
some
why-
idiots out there that are like, yeah, Halle Berry's awesome.
This is why I asked you guys. Halle Berry is number one. With Michelle
Over
Pfeiffer
Michelle
at
Pfeiffer?
2. Halle
Fake
Berry
news.
Halle
Damn
Berry
fake
has
news.
42%, and Michelle Pfeiffer with 41%, Anne Hathaway with 26%.
You clowns are out of your darn minds.
Who is polling this thing?
Michelle Pfeiffer pretty close, but I could not believe when I saw this part that Halle Berry was the America's favorite Catwoman. It was Halle
when
Berry,
you see, like, things
who
like
I
this-
love. I love Halle Berry,
When you
but
see
Michelle
things like
Pfeiffer.
this, you're just like, do you even know? I would ask those people, I go, did you even see the Halle Berry Catwoman movie? Or are you just looking at this picture?
And picking
Did they
Halle
go on
Berry.
the streets, like, man on the streets, like, which one looks better?
I would ask those people, did your mother ever hug you?
Yeah, it's like, oh, gosh.
Do you guys want to take a guess at the Jokers when they did the poll?
Oh my God, we also have a Joker poll?
Yes, we
You're-
had a
I'm-
Joker
okay.
poll. So it's only between Heath Ledger, Jack Nicholson, and Jared Leto.
Okay, Leto's at the bottom.
Come on.
Knowing this poll, I'm going to say, well,
I'm gonna say Heath, Jack, Jared. That's the
I'm gonna go
order. Opposite.
Jack. What'd you say?
I said
said
the
Heath, Jack,
obvious.
I say
Jared.
Jack, Heath, Jared.
Okay,
So it is Heath Ledger in the number one spot with 60%, Jack Nicholson pretty close behind at 58%, and Jared Leto at 18%.
That seems the
Again,
fairest.
this is all
That was-
coming from Hollywood Reporter with these polls.
Yeah.
I love when people do things like this, though.
This
Because
is, and I like the fact that you knew that we didn't look at this. We were able to do a little
I
live.
knew that you guys would see the first top part and then not see the. I was excited about
That's
that.
awesome, guys. We have
Did you
the
see
most
I blocked
fun
him
show.
from it? I blocked Mike. I wouldn't let him
But the
cheat.
problem was
I like
Slow
that you
down.
blocked it. I can't see through your screen this way, and you blocked the screen
still-
from
yeah.
your
So
side
so I
that you
can
can
it,
see.
yeah. But it's like I know what they're upset about. They're upset that Adam West is not included in that. That's what a lot of people are upset about.
All right.
And my big thing.
Where
was,
do you think he would land if he had been included?
I don't know because people and I kind of got into it jokingly with people and I'm like, if you loved Adam West but you could not stand Affleck, there's a problem because to me Adam West is not Batman. Like everything he did, but he is in the spectrum of the films and whatnot.
He did exactly what was asked of him and did an excellent job at it.
But as the character of Batman doesn't have what everything he is. But just like Affleck's Batman, people like Batman doesn't kill, he doesn't do this. Is like they're two ends of the spectrum of the same character. So
I
to
think-
love one and hate the other, you have to accept the other. They're it's the same thing.
I think if Adam West had been included in this poll, he would have come after Keaton, so it would have been Bale, Keaton, Adam West, Clooney, Affleck, Kilmer.
You think you would have been third?
I do think so.
I think so too.
I think people look at it especially like people today. I think if you did the age thing, it would skew much.
Because it's
older.
the fondness.
Young
It's the-
kids
it's
see
the-
that and they're like, "What is this? This is
Exactly.
ridiculous."
Yeah. But again, for me, as a child, when I first saw that, I was like nursery school age before. I remember seeing the reruns even before I was like in kindergarten. Like I have those memories of those and just the costumes and everything. It was enough to get me interested.
I remember hating it as a kid.
That's
I
really
couldn't watch
funny.
it.
That's funny.
I could never get into
loved
it.
And when I saw the beginning of the episode, if that little motorcycle drove across and I knew Batgirl was going to be on it, I was like,
Yeah.
I
A
took
couple shout outs to the chat really quickly because Garth McMurray says Cesar Romero as Joker was fun. He wasn't included on that poll though. Also comments in here, Eon001 says Kevin Conroy ? I think they're just talking about live action.
Yeah, live action.
So that's why he's
Everybody
not
always
in
wants to
there.
bring everything into
and then
it.
Firelord also talking about Mark Hamill being the best Joker. But
Their
again,
voices, guys.
We're talking voice acting, guys.
live
That always gets me
action.
upset when I hear people do the best polls. They don't mention live
Yeah.
action, and they say Conroy's the best. I'm like, it doesn't. It needs to be exempt because you never saw him in the suit. You never saw him. They do need to do animated versus live action because a lot of people are upset that the makers of the Lego movie reached out doing kind of jokingly. What about our guy?
yeah.
So
Do
it's
you
like,
have a hard time though if you say who's your favorite Batman, somebody says Kevin Conroy? Do you not accept that?
no, I can't not accept it. It's their opinion.
Right.
But
Okay.
Well, a
So
lot
you-
of people
you just
think
don't like the polls when
yeah,
they-
a lot of people think that the animated series Batman. I know you kind of think this too.
Yeah.
Is the overall kind of just best representation of the character.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
there's the darker, there's the lighter. The animated series kind of encapsulates like you could just watch that and fall in love with the character
right.
of Batman.
But I always have a problem because with Kevin Conroy, there was zero limitations on him. Budget, costuming, direct, like
Yeah.
there was no. They could do whatever they wanted. He had, whereas the live action, they've got limitations that they got to work with. Them.
Although it's funny you mentioned budget, it seems like in that first 2 seasons, you might know more than me. Like, what was the seasons that they did it all on black
that was
paper?
the first 3.
Okay, and then
they
it got
switched-
very expensive, right?
Then they
Or-
switched to the New Adventures of Batman and Robin, and it
Okay.
turned to Red Sky. Yeah,
Right,
season
right.
4.
So it got a little
When you have
softer in the budget.
less
but they-
budget, sometimes
WB
things
was
are
like,
better.
Things are better.
we want Robin in every episode. We want Batgirl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
But
over.
those original ones are so good.
Oh,
It was
yes.
like so out of its time. Like, coming
Still
home from
holds up.
school and watching those, I'm like, how is this able to be on right now? When did cartoons go from like, I was watching, Thundercats yesterday or whatever, and then, Thundercats were pretty awesome actually. I should think of a lamer one, but then this. It was great.
Adam, should we go back into spoiler territory?
We're
you
going to
think?
go back into spoilers. We're going to
again?
talk WW84. And if you don't want to be ruined, I'm a little upset that I got a little ruined reading these, but we have to do it.
Let's do it.
Are you familiar with these articles about here that we're about to talk?
I know Rox and I talked a little bit about Wonder Woman last year. Last
Week?
Last week.
Did you have these particular?
Last year we talked about Wonder
we
Woman.
definitely
Adam.
did.
You know what I meant, Roxy. Come on now.
I do when you clarified. What are you drinking?
None of your business.
Okay. Interesting talk.
He's drinking that DK. You know he loved that DK.
What's the DK?
Huh?
What's DK?
Diet Coke.
What K?
Well, in the restaurant business, when you abbreviate, we put DK. At
Why
least that's
not
we did that
DC?
at Houston's. Because DC is DC Movie News!
Good segue.
So Wonder Woman 84 coming out eventually this time next year? Is that when it happens?
A year from now.
Is it like a year from...
I think it's June 20th, right?
Well, actually, I don't think it's in the 20s. I think it's in the teens, Mike. I think you got the wrong date.
There we go. I'm sorry your whole show was wrong.
It says June 5th, actually.
What?
June 5th,
Less
2020.
than a year.
Less than a year away.
So I was right. It's not in
We've
the
been
20s.
wondering...
I want
We haven't heard
I know.
anything really about the plot except the fact that this is loosely connected to the Wonder Woman established in BVS. I mean, loosely in the sense that they're softening up on the constraints of canon. That movie kind of had us believing she was out of commission for 100 years. Now we're hearing some plot things. Some of them have to do with that canon, meaning like in 84, Wonder Woman is a known quantity, I believe. And then there's some interesting things dealing with the Pedro Pascal character. Roxy, do you want to expound on this?
Oh.
Oh, were you not prepared to take that?
Well, actually, as you were saying that, I just found further down this article, I had moved forward. I hadn't seen this. I guess it came out today that Josh Gad clarifies if he's playing the Penguin in Batman in Robert Pattinson's Batman movie. So I'm going to do some research on that and let you take this one for now.
Okay, so basically we hear that Pedro Pascal's character, and I'm losing the name right now, but he has the ability to grant wishes. Okay, and so among
Did
those
they name
wishes,
him, though? I think you said this is. I don't know if they named him yet.
I thought they named it, but I think it might be.
Weren't they thinking like Max Lord? But
right? Yeah. I think it is Max Lord.
I'll look at it right now. You keep talking. I'll fact check.
But Maxwell
Lord.
Yes.
Yep.
However,
that
is it possible that Maxwell Lord is in fact a god or someone else in that canon? Is that possibly a cover name for someone else? Because this guy can grant wishes, and Barbara Minerva
IMDb does not have him as Max Lord.
Okay,
and I would go over that over.
Good to know.
A website.
They're basically telling us that Barbara Minerva becomes Cheetah. Because she wants to be like Wonder Woman. And Maxwell Lord, or whoever, Pedro Pascal's character, grants this wish to her, these abilities to her. And I guess she becomes a rival. But also, his wish-granting ability ties to how we bring back Steve Trevor, which is kind of something that we were speculating if one of the gods was going to perhaps give Diana Prince the wish that she wants.
And we had also talked about all different versions of this. Some people had thought he was only going to be used as flashback. When we actually saw the images of him and it seemed like he was in current day outfits, people thought maybe he was going to be imaginary just to Diana. And then it seemed like Patty was confirming, no, he was going to be here. We talked about the gods. So now it seems like this is a pretty likely scenario.
Did you guys last week talk on the test
were
screenings?
Here last week.
Was it? Was last week I was here?
Me
it was
and you.
Moxie, yes. So we didn't talk about it. They had test screenings this week.
Of 84?
Wonder Woman. I'm just realizing that because I thought we talked about it, but we didn't. There was a test screening. Have you guys heard about this?
I haven't heard a single person who went to this.
Really?
Look that up because
will.
they're celebrating it as a massive epic love story with a spy film. Yeah, this. It came. There's not much talk because I think it was a small screening, but a Tuesday or Monday night it happened.
And there's some people leaking some reactions?
Just there wasn't even they were just saying it is an epic love story that it's a spy, like within a spy thriller.
Yes,
Okay.
well, she's hunting down a Russian spy. That is like supposedly a key plot point about what's going on. This is an 80s Cold War spy film.
I'm finding one article saying that the rumored screenings to be held that night, but I'm not finding anything about these test screenings that you're talking about. But that's interesting.
I'm gonna look at it right now.
One of these days, guys, we got to go to it. Actually, I don't even know if I'd want to see an early test screening of this.
No.
Well, we certainly couldn't talk about it.
Yeah.
It'd be easy to find us, like, oh, the guys who host DC Movie News, they would invite us to that screening.
No, we don't get the invite to that. Can I tell you guys while you're looking that up what is going on with Josh Gad?
Yeah,
I just looked over your shoulder and I'm going to be really that.
Did any of you see?
Is he just trolling again? Is he?
No. Finally, for the first time, he's not. He said, so somebody tweeted him and said, hey, Josh Gad, are you the Penguin? # the Batman. And he wrote back and said, okay, seeing as I keep getting this question, as much as I have loved torturing you all with teasing you about the Penguin, I feel like it's time to tell you. I'm not actually playing this character, but I've thoroughly enjoyed the fan art and the love. And then there's another piece of fan art.
Well, sure, but I think also nobody is playing that character as of now. Like, I don't know if that character is cast.
I just love when you have to announce that you're not somebody. It's so funny. As opposed to I am not your father.
Yeah, I don't think that did anybody really think
That's
he was
okay. Of
really
course they
like cast
Because
before?
websites that wanted the clickbait, they took it and ran with it. It's that crap that they do.
I hate,
The
you know what I
actors do.
hate
Did you
is
find-
every time.
I could not.
I hate every website that says epic fan art of so-and-so as so-and-so. Like, I do not go for that. I don't like that stuff.
They like the clicks.
At least they're making it clear. Sometimes it's not clear when something's fan
I
art and
try
when
to
something's
not
regular.
click. I try to negative click.
How do you negative click?
Yeah, I anti-click
The
too.
anti-click equation. I've figured it out. I know what's up. Birds of Prey is coming out. We have some official art. Great poster. Looks so cool. Is that Harley Quinn's hammer in the prey and her bat?
Oh, it is. Yeah.
And Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Miss Harley Quinn. Coming out February.
There's the word missing.
That looks like a top hat,
No, right?
One
a
Harley
mustache.
I can't
comb.
read, so I was throwing it out there.
Yeah. A
Oh,
comb.
the mustache. Oh, that's really
Look
good.
at
A
mustache.
diamond, which is a girl's best friend.
The diamond in the rough.
Did you like Aladdin?
I did.
So
You
good.
did?
It was
I did.
so
Oh,
good.
good.
I really liked
you
it.
liked it too.
I think it was one of the best movies of the year.
Oh my
I would
god,
go with that.
I
that's
think
great.
it was their best live action one they've done so far.
Oh,
I loved it so much.
that's good to
And that new song,
hear.
Speechless. Oh, so good.
Oh, well, that's great. Well,
Every time I see something for Birds of Prey, I get more and more excited.
so this is coming out in February of 2020.
Which is kind of soon.
So we should be
Not
seeing
really soon,
something
but-
really soon.
We thought Comic-Con, but put the kibosh on that.
I want to talk about that for a quick second.
Please do.
Now
Yeah.
that we're hearing that Marvel is going to be
Yeah.
there, do you think Warner Brothers knew that and was like, yeah, we don't quite have enough to go toe-to-toe this year? Or do you think unrelated?
I've asked people that as well.
Oh, okay.
And I think that I think that these heads of the studio, they talk. Like, it's not.
They definitely talk.
It's not like them saying.
Wait, do you think like the WB people talk to the Disney people?
Yeah.
like,
think
they
so?
know. I think they knew ahead of time.
I don't think
yeah.
they call. I don't think it's like a phone call that's like, "Hey,
Okay.
we're gonna be there, so you shouldn't be
Okay,
there."
yeah.
But I just mean like there's communication. I think somebody at Disney's like, "Yeah, we're doing big stuff at Comic-Con this year," and then somebody at Warner Brothers is like, "Maybe we should not this year." Like, I think they're informed on each other's actions before the public.
Based on the news in the past couple of days, when everyone was like, "Oh, Disney's going to go, or Marvel's going to go to D23, or they'll do something else," it sounds like they're getting ready to possibly blow the doors off the Hall H thing. Like they're preparing for like a big return,
massive, it seems.
Right, and then if Warner Brothers shows up there, like they've got Joker, which we've already said is not a huge tentpole, and then you've got Birds, which would have been cool, and Wonder Woman to see some of.
Well, remember that people saw Wonder Woman 84 footage
Last year.
Comic-Con. So, and that actually didn't go particularly well for them. So,
What do you guys think of this? I'm just wondering what goes
But
into
it's
like
not-
deciding.
but also
and it's
it's-
also Warner
but
Brothers has many other properties.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't just the
besides
DC,
DC.
films. They could have just done their films sans DC.
And we talked about also like Godzilla versus Kong. Maybe
I
is
wanna
not
think,
as.
I was talking to someone outside of here about this. I think it was a money thing too. I think AT&T is now with them. They're like, it's money people came. Like, you're spending X amount of dollars to do these to people that are already going to see our movies.
Yeah.
We're not doing that expense. No.
But that's.
do you think that's a good choice?
I'm of two minds of it, Roxy. As a fan, I enjoy seeing it there, but I 100% agree. See, like, you are selling movies to people that you don't need to sell to.
But I don't
We're
think
all
that's
gonna
why
see
you
those
do
opening
it. I
night.
think those people that are going to see the movies, when you show them the preview, they become agents of the studio,
But I
which
will-
plant the seeds.
I counter to you, my friend.
Okay.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World tore Comic-Con apart. Tanked that movie.
Yeah.
Godzilla, King of Monsters. I was in that Hall H. These people went nuts for that movie. It was insane. And someone myself wasn't hyped for that. I was like, that's awesome. Tanked.
Well, it didn't take. It opened almost $100
okay,
million.
but it's not doing what they wanted. It opened like less than Kong Skull Island.
No, more.
No.
Oh, no, King of the Monsters. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
King of the
King of the
Monsters
Monsters
did tank.
Yes.
I thought the first Godzilla did
No,
really
no,
well.
no. Those two did great. So this one didn't do.
You're right. No, this one did
I get
half
your
the
thought.
business.
I get
Yeah.
we are the agents to go out there and go, guys, what we saw is awesome. I don't think it translates.
Yeah. That's interesting. Or maybe it did at one point and it doesn't anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I
But
hear
on the
you.
other hand, it does. Like Iron Man.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They
Like, he
loved
was
it and
born out of
hyped
that
it
hype.
more. Yeah, you're right, buddy. You're right.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I know.
You do? What's the
you?
answer?
Do you?
I know everything.
Zachary Levi has been talking about when Shazam 2 could start filming. This is a film that has not been officially greenlit or anything, but he seems...
Lightning with my hands.
Lightning with my hands. Lightning with my hands.
So good.
But yeah, he's
I want
talking
to watch
about...
this movie again right now.
I do too.
This
I
is
could
one
watch it
I look
anytime.
forward to watching at home.
It comes out in a month on Blu-ray.
I'm so
16th.
excited. I love that.
So he thinks they're going to be going into making a sequel pretty soon.
All right.
What do you think is the holdup on the official green light? Do you
Script?
just script?
They got the green light to write the script, though, right? They're writing.
Well, this is what the quote is. The actor said script writing for the sequel has already begun and expects to start filming either in late spring or early summer next year.
I think that's a great timing.
It does kind of go in line with what we've heard, which is like, yeah, they're looking at scripts, but they're not green lighting films until they have scripts.
Yeah, they're not just
That's
going...
kind of what we've heard. Is their strategy.
And they haven't said it. They haven't gone like, this is your date, hit that date.
However, Aquaman 2, they were like, we got a date. It's just down the road there. There's
But
no
that's
script
like,
for Aquaman
you got
2.
4 years.
But when
Go.
you get $1
Chill.
billion, that's an automatic green light.
Yeah.
That's like pass and go and collecting your green light.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you got that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think because while Shazam did well, it was not an out and out success. Like financially, I think it was like less than 500 million
I think
worldwide.
definitely you can call it a success, but it was not a juggernaut.
I don't think they were expecting it to be a juggernaut, though. I think
Maybe that's why I'm saying it's a success.
Right.
It made money.
Right.
It made money,
And therefore.
I agree. But
Yeah.
I also think maybe that's why it's not the automatic
Now
green
here's the
light
thing.
situation.
This,
Totally.
for me, this will be the litmus test. If the sequel makes less than the first one,
I think there's no way. I think the
that's what I'm
sequel
saying. That's what I'm
definitely
saying.
is gonna
People
make more.
loved it. They'll discover it on Blu-ray or DVD, and they'll go, "Yes, we want to see these characters again," and invest more more, and we'll have a couple more years of good films.
And I also think we're going to see more Shazam pop up.
Yeah.
Because I think there's going to be action figures, T-shirts, all the stuff. There's going to be hype around Shazam because Shazam is so great.
Shazam should be a video game. That would be a fun video game. I like where you kind of like are bad at your powers for a while, like a Greatest American
And you
Hero
can play
style
with any
game.
of the characters. Any of the...
Will you unlock the family?
Yeah.
You have to
unlock
beat the thing.
their
You
DLC.
definitely have to unlock the DLC of the family.
Oh, they get ripped apart on that one.
What?
Well, it's
Avengers?
It's Avengers stuff. It's not Marvel. DC
They ripped
related.
you apart?
I just
for having opinions?
equated it to.
Do you want to go into this?
If you want, no, we're not going to. You don't want? We shouldn't.
No, I don't know.
No, we shouldn't. It's DC movie news.
Okay, so let's move forward. Adam.
Okay, go to visit at Mike Kalinowski. You can argue with Mike about all
Please
kinds
do.
of
I
things.
have 2 days of it.
Just berate him. He loves it. So we know we're getting James Gunn directing this sort of possible reboot-esque sequel to Suicide Squad, but now we're hearing from a fairly reliable source, and I say that only because this is the source that allegedly broke the Pattinson casting.
Okay.
That he might be reimagining the future of, or the reboot of the Justice League.
So,
now, that doesn't necessarily mean Justice League as a movie, but potentially where the Justice League will come from.
This is what we talked about last week, Adam,
Okay.
because the not this exact thing, but the precursor to this, which is the fact that people are saying that James Gunn is going to be a huge part of the DCEU / World of DC or whatever it is that we want to call it moving
the
forward.
shepherd of this franchise.
And is going to be like the Feige moving forward.
Wow.
or more so like the Russos.
Yeah, possibly
recently.
more so like the Russos.
Good point.
Yeah.
They had their own very specific corner, the
Yeah.
biggest corner, but
Right.
And it
I like that
filtered out to
comparison better.
everything.
I like that better. But people are saying, is he going to be the next one to move us, to usher us into this new wave?
Because at the time, also, he was Marvel's go-to after the Russos were
of.
done. He's like, okay, Russos are done. We were going more cosmic. Gunn, take over. You're going to shepherd this. And then last year, Comic-Con happened.
So this poses an interesting thing. That would imply that, like, after that, maybe Gunn finishes up his Marvel tenure with Guardians 3,
Yeah.
and then kind of comes back to DC. The interesting thing is, I think it's all up to Gunn. I think somehow he ended up in the best situation
That's
imaginable.
Exactly what I was just going to say, Adam. What's so crazy about this is, and we've hashed it out so many times on this show, I'm not going to get into, we don't need to get into our personal
Yeah, come
beliefs
at me,
about...
Xeno Hour.
We don't need to get into our personal beliefs about what happened with him, but it is insane that I do not think this would be the place that he was in had what happened not happened.
No.
And he came out further ahead than if it had not happened, in my opinion.
We talk about this in the restaurant industry a lot. Something goes wrong. You have an opportunity, right? Like you've heard a problem is an opportunity. If you supersede somebody's expectations and you take like the overcooked steak or whatever it was, and you end up, and the way you deal with it, you can make that person a bigger fan of yours than if you had done it right the whole time, by just the way you deal with the situation. And that seems like what he did. Like, he hunkered down and he did not lash out on social media.
Yeah.
He did the right thing. He handled it professionally. He was always contrite. He didn't try to sway public opinion against. He didn't have to, because he had all these big name people going to bat for him.
Now, do you think it was also because he, as a person who's like, I messed up years ago. I'm not that person anymore. What I do now speaks for what I am now. Because he didn't need to come out, like you said. It's like,
Yeah, I think definitely, Mike. I mean, something we all, being theater kids, thou dost protest too much is for sure a thing, and he did not. He just kind of was like, sorry.
yeah.
I don't want to imply
I
that
can't defend it anymore.
Yeah.
Did
I don't want to imply that he over manipulated the situation, but someone who is so social media savvy perhaps understood that by handling it that way, that would be the ultimate outcome. You know,
I guess I don't.
Because do
you
you,
know,
guys...
because you've seen so many people dig their own graves.
But on the other hand, there's so many people in such a, as big as Hollywood is, it's a small industry. And if he was really the person that he was, these people would not want to work with him. But obviously, he's not that person anymore.
But do you guys agree, regardless of your personal opinion on the situation, do you agree that he would not be in the place that he is?
No, I think he'd
had
still
that
be
not
doing
happened?
Marvel. I think he'd just be
And
doing
not
Marvel.
and
No, I
not
do
DC.
agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
And
I mean, hey,
I do agree.
making lemonade.
and I'm glad. I'm kind of. I hope that the person that started all this crap, that one guy, whoever it was, ran that. Is like, I hope he's having some repercussions and karma's dealing with him. I hope so.
All right,
Yeah,
move us
exactly.
forward,
Yeah.
Adam.
Okay, so Ray Fisher was
I love
at
Ray.
a celebrity fan fest, and he was talking about where a potential Cyborg movie could go. This is a character where there's been no official word on. I've actually
And his
enjoyed.
contract is same as Ezra Miller's.
Meaning up.
Up.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. Well.
I believe contractually they're both now.
I don't.
Well, all
Not that means
is
that they can't come back, but it just means
Right.
that
Yes, it means. I mean, look, they never have to use him. It just means that he has to go if they want him. I think Cyborg came off pretty fine in the film. I actually liked. What do you guys think of the Doom Patrol Cyborg?
they're obsessed. I think he's amazing.
I enjoy the actor.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Ray though.
Me too. I love Ray also. Both of them are great.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. I don't know. What
It
to
also
say. I
seemed
don't know what
like
to say.
Zack
I honestly don't
Snyder
know what to
also
say.
seemed to imply that there was a lot of his design stuff that didn't get used, like what we eventually got in Cyborg, and like there are some complaints to be had there. Was
Yeah.
not a lot of his individuals. Like we saw him like fully Iron Manning
Right.
out in the trailer. That never
Yeah.
happened. I mean, we could go into, and we will talk more about like the epic Justice League that keeps coming out. Sequel would have been in the theaters this week, by the way.
Crazy.
know, we
Here's a
talked
couple
about-
of quotes that Fisher said.
Thank
He said,
you.
I think there's some repairing that has to take place between Cyborg and his father and that relationship. I think there's also a lot of ground to explore how much technology is too much technology for humanity and how fast technology is evolving and the role Cyborg could play in potentially mitigating the issues that come about because of that. So it's kind of interesting. A lot on technology. Do you guys remember that song?
I don't.
And erase it. No?
No.
You're just going to move
yeah.
forward? Technology.
No, don't know what you're saying
don't
right
know.
Ryan, you must know.
now. Ryan?
Yeah, sure.
Good, Ryan. Smart. Way to play it. Way to play it.
Thanks, producer.
I gotta say, I don't see a scenario in which we see Ray Fisher Cyborg again.
Yeah,
Because especially if we're talking about years down the line, potential
Right.
reboot with James Gunn at the helm. Or,
Let me ask you
know.
this. As likely that we see Ezra Miller as we see Ray Fisher?
Ooh, I would say more likely that we see Ezra.
I'll say this.
Oh wait, I don't know about that. Actually,
I say we will get another Flash. I don't think we'll see Cyborg again for a while.
You don't think we'll see the character or the actor?
The character.
And-
I don't think the
and it
character's
won't
come
be
back.
Ezra.
And it won't be Ezra. We're gonna get a new Flash.
I don't think it's Ezra
It's not
either.
Ezra, and Cyborg
Is it
just
Barry
won't be
Allen?
around. I don't know. That I don't know. But I will
You know
not
what's
see
funny
Ezra, and we will not see Cyborg.
I think if we get a new Flash, but we're keeping our Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Shazam,
because
then
there's so
I
many
think that
different
we
Flashes.
probably won't get Barry Allen.
Okay.
Because that would be kind of-
This is not what they wanted. Ezra should have always been Wally West. Should have always been.
And I think that we will get Wally West.
but now
if-
they're stuck. Like, well, we're gonna make Wally West. We're going that way.
Yeah, they are
think
still,
so,
as
yeah.
much as they keep talking about how this is a different way of doing DC and all this stuff moving forward, we're still in a quagmire because as long
But
as
it's
you
only
have
with those
gap-
things.
What?
It's only with those things. Like Aquaman did
Those are
such
pretty big things.
I know, but Aquaman did such a good. Like they got him out of that suit that he was in
Right.
BVS and Justice League. They colored him up. He's a lot more.
Yeah,
he's not as dour. So they really did a character change in Aquaman.
Mike, I just mean the weirdness of having the same actors in a half rebooted
Yeah,
world.
I
It's
get you.
just there's no precedent for that. So I don't understand how you do it.
I don't-
This is
And
an amazing comment from Sandwich in the chat. Ray Fisher, Ezra Miller, Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, Jared Leto, all hanging out at a barbecue in the Bahamas.
oh yeah, those guys are all Dunsky. Like there is no more Cavill. There's
I don't
no
know
more.
about the Cavill thing.
And I
still.
also don't know about the Leto thing, to be honest.
I don't either with the Leto. I don't think because I don't think he's gone either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing
Isn't
them all
it
like in
we still
Hawaiian
have no
shirts.
answers.
We don't have answers.
But
I'm
what we
sorry.
do have an answer as to what Darkseid might have looked like in Justice League. And I know, Mike, you're a fan of this. Speaking of Father's Day, here's the King Daddy. So is
Yeah,
this
but
Darkseid chilling
it was-
on Apocalypse?
It was Johnny
That was-
who texted us this image
that
at
was
2 in
him.
the morning saying, I love Snyder.
Yeah. That's him using the anti-life equation. He's transforming the planet, and then I think the guy that does the voice, I think it's Ray.
Oh, you think this is
Foster.
Earth?
I don't know if it's Earth, but
Okay.
it's him using the anti-life equation.
Which
they were
we
saying.
saw in the flashbacks in
Right.
BBS, where the Earth being terraformed into.
And
everybody's
apparently,
always
I think the guy's
terraforming.
name is Roy Foster,
Right.
or Ray Foster, not Ray Fisher. He's the voice of Darkseid, and he did a little snippet of his voice as Darkseid to kind of release the Snyder cut.
Well, hey, you guys, real quick. Speaking of Snyder releasing these details, this morning he released another one of there was a scrapped post-credits scene with the Green Lantern Corps ship. Someone tweeted on this morning of a still he released, and they asked what that was in the background. I have the image up right now.
That's Ryan Nelson, our producer in the booth right now, filling us in on all this stuff.
Yeah, and he said that Green Lantern was going to be in the post-credit of Justice League.
Really?
Coming right from Snyder's Twitter.
More stuff comes out and out.
It's so crazy. Wow.
And people ask
How do you think Snyder prepares this? Do you think like different dates are marked on his calendar?
I think
like
he
on
just
this
is like-
date, I'll share this piece.
I think. Oh God, I don't know. I'm not a release the Snyder cut guy. I'm not in that chanting it there. I'm not going to sit there and. But I think he was so proud of that movie, and they wanted it. It just wasn't. It was not the movie he wanted to make, and.
Oh, guys, also,
I'm sorry.
Michael Giacchino?
Giacchino.
I think it's Giacchino.
Giacchino?
Just tweeted out Batman standing on a ledge, and now we're thinking that there's a good chance that he could be scoring Matt Reeves' Batman.
Yeah. But aren't they shooting in London? Weren't they going to... Wasn't that one of the rumors they're going to shoot in London?
Yes.
So...
Which is where the original Batman,
You
89
sound
shows
like
up, right?
you're
Pinewood
from
Studios.
London. Nope.
Okay.
What is that? Right. What is that you're doing
I'm
there?
millennialing you guys. That's what I'm doing.
What is it? Is it some millennial
You
reference?
sound like you're from London. No?
Is that a movie?
What? Never mind.
Oh, is that
The back of your head is ridiculous.
Is that the Rebel Wilson?
Ouch, Charlie. Really hurts.
Charlie bit me.
Okay, so
that's not a
so
millennial.
you know
I know
something.
Charlie bit me.
I know Charlie.
Charlie
I'm
bit
just giving you all the
me.
millennials.
Charlie.
By the way, people in the chat said that what I was singing earlier was Daft Punk, and they knew what I was talking about. Thank you.
You guys
are
are
my real
great.
friends.
You
Okay,
guys
thank
are
you. Goodbye. Whatever. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
That's Kevin Hart.
Also,
me.
that I'm seeing
Hart.
up in the comicbook.com feed that Dave Bautista. We're just going off the rails right now, guys, because there's a bunch of stories that apparently popped up since this afternoon. That Bautista did have conversations with James Gunn about being in the Suicide Squad.
Good for him because
course.
because Batista was the one guy out of everyone that was like his ride or die through all that crap that went down. He's like, Marvel, take me out of my contract because I'm not coming back. All the other actors were like, well, it sucks what happened, and we have to, okay, we're gonna not say anything. But
he was like,
no, I'm out, I'm done. So good for him, man.
Do you think it's like that's the wrestler in his background? Like he knows.
It's just it's the good person in him, not caring about politics, and I don't want to upset the company that's got me under contract. And seeing him, I would hope I would be a Batista, like standing by my director
I think we
friend.
all would hope it'd be a Batista.
But instead of going, you know what? I got 5 more movies with these people. I don't want to upset them because they're really good to me, and I'm just going to kind of sit in the
I'm
background.
so
not
much
say
more
anything.
of a Pratt than a Batista.
I want to be a Batista, but I think I'm a Pratt.
I'm like gonna smile and be like,
What about
hey,
his Zoe
it's
Saldana?
so cool, but
I
I'm
wanna-
like
What about
protecting
his Zoe
myself.
Saldana though? She kind of was in the middle. She did protect him, and then
Because she knew, she's like, well, I don't got any more of these movies, so but I might. But I don't have any more because I'm dead.
I will
might.
say none of the actors like condemned the dude. Like none of
No,
them came out
because they know
you
he
don't
wasn't
think
like,
Zoe Saldana knew that she had a future at the franchise?
she was done at this point. They filmed those already. She was done. She killed herself.
You don't think they talked to her?
But Gamora's gone. Well, actually, she's not. She's back now.
Yeah.
No,
She's
you're
back. It's the search
You don't
for
think she knew
Gamora.
that
You're
was
right.
gonna?
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
No, but I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying.
But I mean, maybe it was easy because the public.
It was
thought
just so
that.
easy how Batista was out there. Like, wow, look at this guy putting himself out there for him. I was like, good for him.
Yeah,
What an example.
I
so I think Gunn
completely
going,
agree.
you know what? If I can put you in DC, you damn right I am, my friend. You damn right. Chris Pratt's like, hey, man, can I, And he's like, nah. I don't know, Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Remember that time? Comic-Con 2018?
Remember when?
Oh, wow.
We had
Did you
like
guys know the member berries?
Guys, we had like 4
Remember-
DC related stories that broke since like we
Remember when-
started the show today. Like the
That's
Green
great.
Lantern ship.
Thank God they didn't break an hour
Josh
from now.
Gad, Michael Giacchino, Dave Bautista, and then while we're at it, Danny Boyle wants Robert Pattinson to be the next James Bond. Kalinowski's a Bond fan. He hates it. He hates it.
No, but
Yeah.
At the same time as.
don't get greedy. Now
and
you've
also,
gotten
still
one
Idris
American
Elba.
icon.
Isn't that what you wanted?
I love Idris Elba's
me too.
Bond.
Guys, what
I
about
would
the fact
love
that Steven Seagal was once considered for the Batman role? That's
Holy
another thing
Christ,
off of
Steven
from
Seagal.
yesterday.
I think that would have been a big mistake.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe it would have changed the trajectory of Seagal's
Possibly.
career?
It
You know
would've-
what?
It might have not been a mistake for him, but for us in our eyes.
Oh, guys, anyone excited about the seminal Batman story, Hush? It's going to be released on August
Damn right,
6th.
I'm excited.
I cannot wait for this. And you guys know that I'm not usually...
You're not.
But, I love Hush.
First of all, I saw Batman Ninja Turtles, finally. Loved it.
Wait, but that's not on DC Universe, is it?
It's not because I figured out why.
TMT?
Nickelodeon.
Oh.
They're partnered
in it. And I realized I was like, because I wanted to buy it because they had a direct, they had a thing for Hush on it, and I'm a big physical media guy. But I was gonna wait, and I was like, oh, it's not. I was like, why not? And I was like, Nickelodeon. But Hush, I'll buy this. But what I love about it is because this is kind of set in their New 52-ish design, but they redesigned his suit in this, and it looks better. Oh, because I've always didn't like his suit had those ears, and they would look like just two pieces of paper. And he had that chin guard thing right here, but they redid it. And he looks more like the comic. I cannot wait for this. This is the movie I've been talking about for years.
Does he still have the chin guard?
Do you want to watch it together,
Does he still have the chin guard?
No.
Yeah, I'd love to. I don't like the chin guard.
So
He has two suits in this movie, I've noticed.
I
Yes,
like
I'll see it. Yes, with you guys.
Which one, Hush?
Hush.
Let's have a Hush party.
Let's have a Hush watch along.
Would you guys join us for a Hush party? Let us
For
know
you guys
in the
to know,
comments.
I've been saying this for years that we
Ryan,
wanted
can we
this.
have a Hush party?
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Can't
We
wait.
actually had we had the director in studio this past Monday for Con Guys, and we're in talks to have him on the show potentially.
Hey!
Ryan is
Dropping
putting in
stuff
work
on
behind the
us
scenes.
right there.
Hush, all my Batman
Ryan, who
all
is the
the
director
time.
of it?
Hush.
He was in the...
Justin Copeland.
What I think is, don't speak, I know just what you're thinking.
Oh,
She
yes.
says,
What? Oh, God.
Hush, hush.
well.
Guys, that's it for movie news. It's now time for...
It's time for Roxy
Doesn't it smell like delicious food in here?
I got a
all of
loft of
sudden?
something right now, too.
It smells like onions.
Well, you guys cook this time of day always here,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It's your
There's
guys...
always- who does the cooking?
Brie, and she is so good.
She's always doing it.
Yeah, she is so good. Shout out to her and those onions that we smell. Adam, usually I love to run TV time, but I gotta say for this one, I know I gave a passionate speech to everybody last week, and I think it is your time to talk about Swamp Thing.
Well, here's the thing.
Are you okay? Are you doing okay?
I'd almost be happier if the show sucked.
I know. It's so good.
I really like the depiction of the character. It's the practical / CG heavy suit we thought. It's the attitude of like the Alan Moore kind of stuff. It's got like fun procedural elements. It reminds me in certain ways of like the old Incredible Hulk series, like how you, and just in how you don't get like Swamp Thing wall to wall. It's
you
like
not
he
seen it
comes
at all?
out when he
Watch
comes
the
out. You get a couple of appearances of Swamp Thing. They don't overdo it. I love the tone. I just watched episode 4, and guys, it was shocking. It was the most horrible, like the opening when there was a guy who's having like a delusion, and it's horrific. They go over the top with the blood and the gore.
So good.
And it does smell very good. And hashtag save Swamp Thing, but I don't know if that's going to help.
I don't think it's happening.
Because
it's not going to
You
help.
don't think
Warner Brothers has
Brothers-
said it's canceled, and we're not going to talk about why.
Right.
And
We
we've
don't-
heard
we
the
don't
thing
know
about
why.
the tax credits and things, but
But then we heard that wasn't true.
I
heard
think
there's
there's more of a
creative and-
story. And here's the thing: this production is James Wan's company is part of that. I'm not saying James Wan is the problem, but what is his production company?
Juan.
Okay, Wan Media, whatever it is. This is kind of like what we were talking about with the
Wan.
Zack Snyder deal and Henry Cavill as Superman.
Right.
If that version of Superman goes forward, they're in a partnership with Zack Snyder's production company, which is maybe a direction that they don't want to go. So it doesn't have as much to do with Henry Cavill. This is the same kind of thing, whether it was the money
Atomic
or the
Monster.
budget. So it could be a thing with Atomic Monster and WB and the creative differences that we heard about. So the cancellation has to do with them wanting to end the business agreement, meaning that if they did this version of Swamp Thing, they'd be locked into that agreement. That's the only thing I can come up with at this point, because the show is really, really fun. It's everything I wanted it to be, and I think Derek Mears is so great in it, and he did this interview where he talked about how shocked he was about being canceled.
I should have thought of this before, and I'm sorry I didn't. My good friend that I work with is in a comedy improv group with Derek Mears. He's been friends with him for years. I'm gonna try and get
like
him
a
on.
laugh riot.
I'm gonna try and get him on the show.
You should, please.
I don't know why I haven't thought of it
Brian,
before.
wasn't he in studio on a different show? Didn't we have him on a...
Can you say the name again? Derek
Mears, the guy who plays...
Yeah, I know
Swamp
he's
Thing.
been in here multiple times.
And he was on Collider, I think, recently. I saw he was
No,
on
he's been in
somewhere.
here too, though.
I'll try and get him on with the show here because he's my very good friend's co-partner in an improv group. He's a very funny man because I've seen their improv show.
What does the chat roll think of Swamp Thing? I'm
So
curious.
I just wrote to them and I said, if you're into it, say hashtag Save Swamp Thing. And Vince said it. Sandwich said it. Everybody's in here. David saying hashtag Save Swamp Thing. Daniel says hashtag Save Swamp Thing. Of course so.
What episode was the one? Because I saw it. It's almost a month ago. It was a clip I saw. The guy came at Swamp Thing with a knife, and he wrapped him up and pulled him outside. He strung him up and then ripped him apart.
Yeah, that was the second episode.
Okay, because I haven't seen it.
Insane.
I saw that and I was like,
insane.
If they would have showed that from the beginning, like remember the beginning, people were like there's that one thing with Abby in bed. As like, if you would have shown that. I mean, it sucks because it's the app and people get to buy it, and it's just like I see WB where they're going. They're like, we've got great stuff. People are not wanting to put $7 down for this app that we know we're going to put on another WB package together. I don't think Swamp Thing's gone.
Well, I think this version of it is gone,
I think this
though,
version,
which is sad because we're never going to see as dark a version as this.
Couldn't you see Swamp Thing showing up on Titans or Doom Patrol, that character? Like, it fits.
How?
Yeah, but
it just
I mean,
fits.
a different version
You're not talking
of
about
it.
all the characters. You're talking about specifically...
Well, I haven't only watched one episode, so I'm talking Swamp Thing, but I know we're getting Blue Devils coming up. Ian Ziering is Blue Devil.
He is, and we're getting more about that character, but like a lot of these
Have you
arcs...
seen the suit yet?
No. In fact, we're just kind of so far in the show. Spoilers if you haven't have seen it yet. Like we realize that he is not just a local small time B movie actor. That he's there on a mission. But Blue Devil was the name of his character in these movies.
Do you read?
So we don't know that he's actually Blue Devil.
Do you read Justice League Dark?
No.
Where Blue Devil is like this savior that's been like defending Earth against demons.
That seems like where they're going with this character.
Awesome. And they talked about how this was going to be a spin-off for Justice League Dark characters.
Well,
I know we gotta get
brain is
out of
turning
here,
now.
but I just want to say, Mark Escobar, happy birthday to you. Also,
Happy
Zeno
birthday.
Hour on Sunday. There was a lot of birthdays in the chat, so
Happy
happy
birthdays.
A lot
birthday
of
to
June
you
birthdays.
all.
Also, Krypton Season 2 has started. I don't know. Did anybody check that out?
I'm not watching it this season unless you guys tell me I need to.
Did you
Okay,
see
well,
him?
I will catch up on Krypton, and I will report next week. I'll be all caught up on Krypton.
Krypton, is that a
Sci-fi.
K-R-Y or C-R-I?
That's a KR.
Come on, Superman the movie. Come on,
course.
Superman the movie.
You
Lois
got
Lane
me,
says
you got
this.
me, you got me.
So Krypton, is that with the C-R-I or a
That's
K?
Lois
you should
Lane.
Feel, you should feel ashamed right
That's
now.
Margot, the fabulous
on.
Margot Kidder, interviewing Kal-El on a rooftop.
Great scene.
Guys, thanks for joining us for DC Movie News. This was so much fun to be with my good friends here.
Great having us all back.
Doesn't happen often enough. I'm Adam Gertler. You can find me at Adam Gertler. Mike Kalinowski, where can the people
At Mike
find
Kelsey,
you?
Schmodown fans, I have got some massive things coming up. Massive matches. I'm getting back into singles. Team match coming up. Intergeek number one contender match. It's going to be awesome.
Tense.
I hope you lose.
Shut your
my
mouth.
God.
You shut your mouth.
You guys can find me everywhere at Roxy Striar, also on Collider Live every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Screen Junkies on Fridays, The Tomorrow Show, Kevin Undergaro, Roxy Striar on Wednesday nights, and always here at AfterBuzz TV as well.
So long from all of us here at DC Movie News.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.